Welcome back. It is Saturday, August 24th, and the MLB. Our three best bets are on the way. It is Austin joined by Logan. Let's recap yesterday. Unfortunately, a losing day for us. Snapped our 4-day winning streak. A little unlucky. Let's talk about it. Padres money line. That was a whale play. Joe Musgrove is literally the owner of the Mets. Parlay of the day did cash. Shout out Luis Castillo. He made it sweaty, but we needed 6 from him, and he came through. Our losses, Bobby didn't come through. He had 2 balls, 110 plus off the bat. Nothing you can do there. Only a single. Cubs Marlins under 8.5. Maybe want to punch something. And then Blue Jays minus the half, first 5. Chris Bassett, what are we doing, man? But frustrating. It was 2 and 3 days. Certainly could have been much worse. But we're going to dive into today's picks. Hopefully we can turn in a winning day for y'all. I'll get back to the winning column like we have been doing the last pretty much all week prior to yesterday. 2 and 3, obviously not great, but hey, we can bounce back today with a 3-0 day. That would be electric. And we're going to dive into the picks. I do want to note, though, if you haven't checked out our college football video, it posted yesterday at 12 p.m. Noon. You can go check it out. There's 4 games we talked about for today's slate. It is week 0 of college football. Logan and I were super excited to talk about it. So go check it out. I've seen a lot of positive comments over there. So if you want to check out that video, it's posted, I guess, right before this one, technically, on our feed. So go show it some love. Check out some college football games. We'll be doing at least 1 video, maybe 2, 3 per week for college football. But you guys came for some MLB picks. We got a 3-0 card cooked up for y'all. I'm going to start with mine, and I'm rocking a Rockies jersey. And no, I'm not, shirt, jersey, whatever you want to call them. I'm not backing the Rockies to win the game, cover on the run line. No, I'm not that crazy. So I'm going Rockies first 5 team total over 1.5 runs minus 115 on DraftKings. Now, I know people on FanDuel do not have a first 5 team total. I don't mind the Rockies full game. However, you're asking them to score 4 runs there. I can hardly count on them to score 2. So I'm just going to trust them to get 2 up in the first 5. If they don't do that, I don't have good feeling that they're going to put up 4. So if you can, I think Fanatics has first 5 team total. So does DraftKings. 2 pretty main bucks. Now, let's talk about who the Rockies will be facing today. They'll be facing my man, Will Warren. Now, if you look at Will Warren's stats, they have not been great. 8.59 ERA and a 1.64 whip. He's made 3 starts to his name. He hasn't made one in about 10 days as they sent him back to the minors. But in those 3 starts, his first one was 5 1/3, 4 earned runs at the Phillies. Then the next one was his only home start, 4 1/3, 8 earned runs to the Angels, who can't really hit righties, but figured him out. And then 5 innings pitched, 2 earned runs to the White Sox, and he gave up 7 hits in that game. So obviously he's allowed this team total in all of his starts, and he's allowed 1 home run in 3 straight starts. And what I like about Warren is he's a righty, so you're going to get the lefty bats from the Rockies in here, and that's what I want. I don't want. They've been facing a lot of lefties consistently, so you get guys like Charlie Blackmon, arguably one of their better hitters, who can put the ball in play, doesn't strike out a ton. There, he's not in the lineup most days, but he should be out there today, and you'll get the lefties, obviously like McMahon and those guys in there. And I think they can get something on Will Warren. Obviously, this is a low price because you're not going to give the Rockies a super juiced first 5 team total because it is the Rockies, and the Yankees are obviously huge favorites at home. But I think the Rockies can score 2 here. I know that's crazy to say, but I think they can get to Warren. Warren this season allowing a 400 batting average with runners in scoring position, 333 with 2 outs. Of the last 8 righties to face the Rockies, 7 of the 8 allowed at least 2 runs, and we're talking about good pitchers like Dylan Cease. Schwellenbach has been really good recently. Severino, those guys had some trouble against the Rockies. Now, I will admit, a lot of those did happen at Coors Field. It's obviously much easier to score, but Yankee Stadium's still a hitter-friendly ballpark if you got your lefties in there. We obviously have the right field short porch, so one got to get a single and just 1 mistake pitch from Will Warren, which he's shown to do in his recent starts. I think we could see them put up 2, heck, even more against him. So I'm going to trust the Rockies. That might be my final words saying that. But Rockies, I need 2 from y'all. At least show up. They just got shut out yesterday. Didn't do anything the day before. I really think the Rockies can get us 2 through 5. So I'll take their first 5 team total. Please don't make me regret that. But Logan, you got an under for the people, and I really like your under. Where are you going?
Yeah, this is a sharp, classic Logan line read pick, as I always like to say. It's going to be the Brewers and Athletics first 5 under 4.5, minus 120 odds on FanDuel is your best value there. Now, why do I say this is a Logan line reading pick? It's what I've had success with actually over the last several seasons. Well, look at last night. There were just 10 runs scored in the first 5 yesterday. And now with worse pitching, because these 2 starters are not as good as the ones yesterday, we see a 4.5 first 5 line juice to the under. I think this one goes under, and it might be scary on paper because you look at Joe Boyle, who started for the A's, 6.21 ERA, 1.67 WHIP. Yeah, I mean that ERA on paper doesn't look great, but what I do like about Joe Boyle is, we're in for an experience here. If you want to watch this bet, I recommend not doing so because there will be a lot of traffic on the bases. But what I know about Joe Boyle, he's tough on righties. He's only allowing a 200 batting average to righties, which is important because if you're one of those pitchers that gets hit from both sides of the plate, I normally don't want to take an under with guys like that. At home, he's only allowing a 233 batting average as well. The Joe Boyle experience, what I'm really talking about is his lack of command and lack of control. I mean, man, when he's pitching up there, he's just wild. Sometimes he's effectively wild, like he was in his last start. He walked 3 batters in his most recent start versus Tampa Bay, but only allowed 2 hits. I mean, heck, if it works, it works. That's what Joe Boyle does. He gives up base runners, but with men on, he's only allowing a 238 batting average. Again, important. If that was like a 280 batting average, there's no way in heck I would be making this pick. I think Joe Boyle comes out and has actually a decent showing. The last 14 days versus righties, Milwaukee has not been that solid. Only 27th in batting average, 25th in OPS, 24th in WRC plus over that time span. So again, do we live in a world where Joe Boyle and his 6 ERA can come out and pitch solid? I think yes. I also think if you're looking at him, some of his props, he's plus 115 to go over his 2.5 earned run line. Again, that's really solid plus money on that over. I think Joe Boyle has a solid start. And on the other side, we need Colin Ray to hold it down. Colin Ray starts for the Brewers, 3.52 ERA, 1.15 whip. Obviously, a sub-4 ERA is better. That's what we like to see from one of our starters on the other side. But Colin Ray, in his most recent start, you guys might remember, I tried fading this man. I was so wrong. He spun a masterclass, 7 innings pitched, 0 earned runs against the Guardians in his last start. Could he be rounding into better form? I think so, because you look at Colin Ray's props today, again, doing some prop reading, he has a juice 17.5 outs over, which I don't think I've ever personally seen for him. I don't know if Austin's seen that for him either. But a guy like Colin Ray demanding an 18 outs line, so he's going a solid 6 innings. I think he has a pretty solid showing. I don't think he has the toughest matchup in the world against the A's offense either. Oakland only hitting 225 against righties this month. And over the last 14 days, if you want to look at that sample size, Oakland 21st in batting average, 24th in OPS, 16th in WRC plus. All this to say, I think Colin Ray has a good showing in this one. I think we see sort of a pitcher's duel, an unlikely pitcher's duel, but a pitcher's duel nonetheless through 5 innings in this one. Yesterday, I was absolutely cooked by Chris Bassett in the first 5, so I'm back for revenge, this time in a different game in the first 500. Love this as my best bet of the day. But Austin, close it out. Where are you going for the 3rd pick?
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Colin Ray, I don't think I've ever seen that 17.5 outs line. That's like minus 180 on the over. He never gets that. He's normally 16.5, minus 110 each way. I really like that pick. Now, our final pick of the day, we don't have a parlay of the day like we normally do on Odds Checker, but we hit our 100th one yesterday. Yesterday was our 100th parlay of the year. And we do have one. It's not going to be on Odds Checker. It'll be right in the video. We'll talk for these 2 legs. Let's talk about them. We have George Kirby of the Seattle Mariners over 17.5 outs, parlayed with Nationals and Braves, each to score 2 runs, minus 101 on DraftKings. Now, pretty much every book, you should be able to do this. George Kirby outs should be available. I want to say FanDuel didn't have an outs line, but they should have one for Kirby. And then Nationals, Braves, some books have the each to score 2, both to score 2 runs. Some you can just same game parlay them to score 1.5. I will note, normally the market where you can just do both to score 2, that normally is better odds than the SGP odds. I don't know why. I think they should be the same, but what do I know? I don't make the books. But let's talk about this one. I honestly like it. I think this one should be pretty much more juice than this. But let's start with George Kirby. It's kind of the same read as Luis Castillo yesterday. Now, Logan and I talked about Mr. Castillo. We considered his under 2.5 earned runs or his over and outs. Ended up going with the right one with the outs. Same thing kind of here with George Kirby. I think if he could give up 3. I mean, heck, Castillo gave up 5, and he still managed to go 6. Now, Kirby owns a 2.74 ERA and a 0.98 whip at home. He's been a home stud. He's been really, really good. I mean, carrying a less than 1 whip at home, you got to love that. And what we also know about Kirby, doesn't walk guys, 98th percentile in walk percentage. He throws strikes, and the Giants are going to know that. And so I imagine they'll be swinging early and often, maybe get some easy ground balls, some fly balls. I need to shout out Randy Arozarena for being absolutely terrible. He really tried to screw us in that Castillo bet. I don't know what the hell he's doing out in left field, but he might need to be DFA'd, for being honest. He's at that point. But this season, Kirby, 6 innings pitched or over 17.5 outs in 18 of his 26 starts, 70% of his 8 misses. 6 of them occurred on the road, where we obviously said he's been worse. And the 2 games that he missed at home, one he allowed 8 earned runs. Yeah, you're probably not going 6 innings if you're giving up 8. The other one, he gave up 7 hits and 3 earned runs. The Tigers, who obviously saw him well. So they got 7 hits. You're going to probably not go 6 innings if you're doing that. I like him to get things dialed in here. We have Snell on the other side. So maybe you see Kirby a little amped up for a little pitching duel here. I like Kirby to go get things going. He's allowed 2 earned runs in 4 straight, but still managed to go over this line in some of those starts. Let's hope he pitches well here. Now we move to the Braves and Nationals game where we need both these two teams to score 2 runs. These are 2 offenses that hit or miss on certain days, but normally are capable of getting us 2 runs, especially with the home run ball. Especially the Braves, they like to hit homers. But the Nationals, let's talk about them. They'll face off against Charlie Morton. Morton hasn't been great against them this year. In 2 starts, one of them he allowed 5 innings pitched, 5 runs, 4 earned. The other one 5 2/3, 8 earned runs. If there's anything Morton's really good at, it's striking out people with that curveball. But we know the Nationals not a team that strike out a ton. So look, they're going to be able to put the barrel of the bat on the ball, and they'll have good things. I mean, Morton's allowing like a 300 batting average on balls in play, so I'm confident they'll get things going. Do they put up 8 or 4 on him? I don't necessarily know, but I think they can at least get something going against him or the Braves bullpen, which has been, all right over the last 2 weeks. And on the flip side, we need Jake Irvin to give up some runs to the Braves. Now, so far through 2 starts against the Braves this year, Irvin has absolutely shut them down. 6 innings pitched, 0 earned runs in both of those starts. However, that was early on in May and June. This is now, late August, where Irvin, his last 8 starts, he's led at least 2 earned runs or more. And he's clearly just isn't the pitcher he was back then. He has a 6.5 hits allowed line, which is pretty dang high for a Braves team that doesn't, have the highest batting average in the world. But what they do is they slug. In the last 14 days versus righties, Braves top 10 in average, OPS, and WRC+. So, look, they've been able to get to most righty starters. I'm confident Irvin gives up his fair share of runs, maybe at least 2. And Morton, hopefully they can get 2 on him. If we have to turn it over to the bullpens, I think there'll be some run opportunities late in that game. So this is -101, which was plus value, but you might be able to get plus value depending on where the lines go throughout the day. But I like George Kirby to give us 6 innings and Nationals Braves each to score 2. A little parlay for y'all to wrap up this Saturday slate of action. So those are only 3 picks. Not going to go too crazy on a Saturday. Hopefully we can turn in a 2-in-1 day or a 3-0 sweep. Then we'll see you guys back on Sunday with some more picks. And like I said at the top of the show, if you want to go check out the college football video, I will link it on the screen right here. Go check it out. Logan and I love talking about college football, so you can go show that video some love and see what our picks are for this Saturday slate of action for week 0. We're signing out. We'll see you guys back on Sunday with some more picks. See you then. Go Rockies!